The WWE Bloodline story grows to another company, and Solo Sikoa gets called out. AEW drama going to get ugly, and more. I'm Luke Owen, and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
But first, we want to send our congratulations out to AEW's Lexi, Nair and Big Bill, who tied the knot over the weekend. The pair announced their engagement on Christmas Eve 2022, and now the big day has been, and it has gone. Nair shared a photo of their wedding on our Instagram stories, and it all looks very, very lovely. Congratulations to both of them. At least someone is happy in AEW right now. When All Elite Wrestling launched in late 2018, it was going to be the alternative. Throughout 2019, there were lots of interviews from people behind the company talking about how it would be different from WWE. A small example, but in 2019, there were reports that WWE were asking attendees of their shows wearing AEW merch to change and wear WWE merch. AEW responded by saying anyone could wear whatever they liked at their shows. WWE brought back Hulk Hogan despite all of his controversies. AEW banned him from attending their shows. And in 2019, WWE came under fire from fans for adding time to the contracts of talents because of injuries, despite them wanting to leave. Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, then The Revival, and Brody Lee, then Luke Harper, had time added to their contracts because they wanted to go to AEW. But if you live long enough, you can see yourself become the villain. Because in 2024, it was reported that both Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix of the Lucha Brothers had time added to their AEW contracts, which prevented them from leaving for WWE. WrestleVotes had reported that WWE's merchandise department had been given the go-ahead to make new merch for the pair, and reports said they were going to be coming in as a package deal straight to the main roster. However, it was then reported that Pentagon Jr. had been quite vocal about these plans in the AEW locker room, and that is when Tony Khan stepped in and took action by adding time to Penta's contract, around 6 weeks, and 6 to 9 months to Rey Fenix's deal. Ibu, a Wrestle Purist at the time, said Tony always liked and respected Rey Fenix. He just felt if he let this slide that other people would start taking advantage of him, and it was going to lead to a dam breaking. Supposedly, the Motor City Machine Guns debut on SmackDown was in place of the Lucha Bros not getting out of their AEW deals, as Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin were reportedly factored into NXT plans for their debut on the CW. From what I've heard, there were creative pitches for Penta and Phoenix to have matches with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, including a world title program for Penta and Cody. That one could just be hearsay though. What is more concrete though is last week it was confirmed that Pentagon Jr. was now a free agent from All Elite Wrestling, as its extended time had come to an end. He immediately showed up in AAA, where he ran down their champion Alberto El Patron, the former Alberto Del Rio, in WWE, and told fans that he would be taking some time away but would be back in due course with his brother. And there is apparently more to this story, and it's only going to get uglier, which we will get into after this message from today's video sponsor, the Wrestling Masterclass.
The journey to success in professional wrestling can feel like a steep climb, but luckily, Wrestling Masterclass has you covered. Wrestling Masterclass is now globally recognized as the leading online educational platform in the industry, scoring an average of 9 out of 10 by people who have taken our courses. And better still, they are now available at the best prices ever offered. Each course is expertly designed to cater specifically to different wrestling career aspirations and includes stacks of high-quality HD video lessons. The Becoming a Wrestler course. Dive into over 50 video lessons and exclusive podcasts with the likes of Al Snow, Doug Williams, Raven, and more, and the first ever filmed in-ring seminar from Will Ospreay. The Becoming a Booker or Promoter course. Navigate the complexities of wrestling promotion with over 50 video lessons tailored to avoid industry pitfalls, including insider podcasts with the likes of Dutch Mantel and WXW promoter Felix Kohlenberg. The Other On-Screen Talent course. Perfect your on-screen presence with over 40 video lessons focused on non-wrestling roles, with a special insider podcast from veteran referee Mike Chioda. And finally, Wrestling Masterclass Premium, our most extensive course offering unprecedented access to nearly 100 lessons, including breaking into wrestling media and mastering promos. The Will Ospreay Seminar, all of our mentor podcasts, worksheets, and more. Each course explores the deepest aspects of pro wrestling psychology, provides expert tips for breaking into the industry with the highest success rate, networking and marketing secrets, deepens understanding of the global history of wrestling, outlines the precise actions needed to achieve goals faster than ever, and so much more. Begin your journey into the business today from as little as just $77. The first steps in your journey towards your dream role in one of the world's most exciting industries starts now.
Rey Fenix has also spoken out about his current AEW situation on Twitter, replying to one user that I will have my chance to speak the truth, and putting out a post saying, "No one stays in a place where they received inhumane treatment." And now Chris Featherstone is reporting that the alleged excuse that Tony Khan found out about Lucha Bros being in talk with WWE is fake news, and the real reason will be revealed. He also adds onto Rey Fenix's previous tweet saying that it was a huge injustice, and that expect the Lucha Bros to go more in depth about their time in AEW when they are free and clear to do so, and when they do, it's going to be ugly. Fenix himself replied to this report, calling it so far the most accurate comment, and adding, "Unfortunately, due to contractual issues, I cannot speak now, but I will have my time." For what it's worth, Sean Ross Sapp, a Fightful Select, in reference to the inhumane treatment of Rey Fenix, said on Twitter, "I've personally never heard anything resembling that." And added on Blue Sky, seemingly in reference to this story, knowing where some of these stories emanate from is double cringe face. Whatever the case, it looks like we're going to get some mad shoot interviews next year when Fenix does finish up with All Elite Wrestling. Probably not on Talk Is Jericho though. But speaking of Jericho, Jake Hager is also someone else who felt disgruntled by his All Elite Wrestling run, which came to an end earlier this year. He recently posted on Twitter in a series of now deleted tweets that Tony Khan silenced him and was a communist. Tony Khan, the old classic billionaire communist. He revealed in an interview with Going Ringside over the weekend that it wasn't all that bad in AEW actually, as he liked working with the Inner Circle and doing the Stadium Stampede, but also revealed that it wasn't Tony Khan who brought him into AEW, and instead, it was Chris Jericho. He said Chris Jericho is the greatest of all time, one of my favorites. For him to bring me in and say I'm his guy, what a compliment. Tony Khan didn't want me there, but Chris did. He wanted me there, and it was awesome. Hager was the surprise debut on the first episode of AEW Dynamite, but reports from the time said that originally it was supposed to be AJ Styles and the Good Brothers before all three of them re-signed with WWE, which would have been a very big Bullet Club reunion on AEW Dynamite. And speaking of groups getting back together, look, this feels slightly insane to me and also makes me feel like I'm going to turn into dust at any given point, but next year will mark 15 years since the debut of the Nexus. 15 years. Just like, that's put me in the grave now, man. And it's not just me who thinks putting them back together would be an awesome idea. Remember my great fantasy booking warfare pitch from last year where they became part of the NWO? Michael Oku and Nina Samuels liked it. As Heath Slater himself has been talking about the possibility of the group having one more run in WWE, especially with reports that Wade Barrett is currently in the process of getting medically cleared for an in-ring return. Slater told Muscle Man Malcolm, "What really blows my mind about Nexus is that we were together for what, 9 months? People still talk about it 14 years later. Come on, man. Listen, WWE. Hunter, think about it, baby. We're not boys no more. We're men. Imagine if we came back. Just imagine. I could definitely see it." Would you like to see the Nexus get another run in WWE? Does anyone still have Michael Tarver's number? What would you do with them if they did come back? Let me know in the comments down below. Maybe they could feud with the Bloodline. Obvious answer, sure, but their ranks appear to be growing and potentially splintering further, and are now in other companies. Next year will also mark the 5th year of the Bloodline family drama being a focal point of WWE, which is showing no signs of slowing down. What started as just Roman Reigns and the Usos soon saw Solo Sikoa join their ranks along with the honorary Us, Sami Zayn. But following this year's WrestleMania and Roman losing his WWE Championship, a new splinter faction of the Bloodline was formed, led by Solo Sikoa, with new recruits Jacob Fatu and the Gorillas of Destiny. Not only that, but The Rock has also joined the fray in some capacity, but according to reports, that capacity is all dependent on whether or not The Rock is free to do anything, aka he'll be back when another one of his movies doesn't work at the box office. And throughout 2024, there have been reports that WWE has its eyes set on other members of the Bloodline family tree, most notably Hikuleo, brother of Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, and Zilla Fatu, cousin of Jacob Fatu. Ollie Davis broke down the entire Bloodline family tree, which you can check out in the video description down below. While Fightful Select reported a couple of months ago that Fatu was not signed with WWE, that's Zilla Fatu, not Jacob Fatu, I'm pretty sure he is signed, Zilla Fatu has been very vocal about his wishes to join the WWE ranks and get involved in the Bloodline story. And in an interview with Busted Open, Zilla Fatu has called out Solo Sikoa for using the Samoan Spike as his finishing move, as that was the finish of his father, Umaga. He was asked who he would sign with in the Bloodline War, and he answered, "I've been beefing with Solo since I was 8 years old. I gave him his first rock bottom in the pool at his dad's house. For him to take my dad's move? I don't like that. I'm gonna go with the OTC. I'm gonna help Roman Reigns. Whatever he needs, I'm there." And at GLCW Blizzard Brawl over the weekend, where Zilla was flanked by Amado Estrada, the former manager of Umaga, who himself signed a WWE Legends deal last month, Fatu defeated Joey Avalon with a Samoan Spike. But it was the actions after the match that really got people talking. Check out this clip shared by WrestleTalk's Twitter account. In some good news for All Elite Wrestling in this WrestleTalk news video, and Fightful Select are reporting that Kommander has been getting positive reviews, not just for his performance in the Continental Classic, but also just in general. Kommander was a sub in the tournament for an injured Juice Robinson, though it's currently bottom of his Gold League with 3 losses to Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, and Ricochet. As it currently stands, Fletcher is either going to top or come second in the Blue League after picking up a win over Kazuchika Okada on Collision, while Claudio Castagnoli tops the Gold League with 2 wins and 6 points. However, everyone else, bar Kommander of course, has 3 points, which means it's currently all to play for. Fightful also add that Kommander was among a few names that could have replaced Robinson in the C2, but they don't have those names as it currently stands. And speaking of positive notes to end on, and Fightful Select also reports that Kevin Owens' car segments with Michael Cole were well received in WWE. With the WWE Netflix deal just around the corner, Ollie Davis and I decided to do our own mock draft, which we recorded in November before Survivor Series and the New Day breakup and the announcement that WWE were going to do their own draft, so you can go and giggle at how much we predicted and got wrong. Click the video on screen right now.